Well, hello there and welcome to another exciting edition of Sister, your favorite all-women talk show. Of course, right here on this show, we talk about relationships and all the different angles to it. We solicit for your questions, and of course, once they come through, we share our opinions on, exactly what's going on in your situation. My name is Jessica. Thank you for joining us once again. And I'm going to be introducing my sisters to you right after this. All right, welcome back. So don't forget, there are different ways that you can interact with us on the show today, and you can simply send an email to jessica@cityfmonline.com or send a WhatsApp message to our WhatsApp inbox, and that will be 054-998-6996. Let's hear from you. We deal with messages on a first-come, first-served basis, and I do get regular complaints from people who say, oh, we never get our messages read on the show. Yeah, that's because we have quite a volume of messages coming through every week, but we definitely go through each and every one of them. So have patience. As soon as, it's your turn, we'll definitely talk about your matter. But thanks for patronizing the show every single week. Now, let's go right ahead to introduce my sisters with me in the studio tonight. The usual suspects are here. We've got Tina, we've got Olivia, we've got Rosina. Ladies, good to see you.
Good to see
What's
you
going on,
too.
Charlie?
You look nice.
Thank you. So do you. I like your shirt.
Oh.
Yeah, I've never seen anyone mix the African print with. It's really nice.
Quite a number of people do it, so I just copied
It's nice. I want some.
Okay, I'll do some for you, okay?
Okay. All right. Livy,
Hi,
what's going on?
I'm good.
Swimming?
Oh, yes. Swimming is going great. I'm so
now
happy.
you're a pro, Michael
Yeah,
Phelps?
almost. But I'm getting there. I'm so proud of myself.
I think we should go swimming one of these days.
Yeah, we totally should.
We
Have a
should.
swimming date.
Yeah. And afterwards, we
I
have
walk
lots
in
of
water,
burgers.
so that's fine.
Well, I had a friend who drowned in 2 feet water. So it's okay.
Oh, Lord.
No, she didn't drown.
No,
She
she said she
claimed
walked in water.
she claimed she was drowning in 2 feet
Me,
water. So,
I walk in water, so disclaimer.
and she's taller than me too. So she's
It's all
2
good.
feet water.
It's all good. Rosie, good to see you.
Good to see you too, Jess.
going
How are
on?
you?
I'm okay.
You look good.
Thank you. How are the babies?
They're fine.
Oh.
She's fine. He is terrorizing me, but they're fine.
Yeah.
They're fine.
Good to know. All right, ladies. Well, let's go straight into action because people need our help. This message here says, I married a woman who my family is not in support of and doesn't like. I married her anyway, despite their misgivings, because I truly love her and I see no future with any other. Despite her knowing it, I promised her that I'll always be in her corner to defend her, of which I do. We have 3 wonderful baby boys. I know my family doesn't like her, but she's also not doing things that will make her likable in their eyes, especially my mom. Especially when she got pregnant with our second baby. She refused to inform my mom until she gave birth, stating that a man of God says she's a witch. She gives out to neighbors the foodstuff my mom brings from the village, claiming she doesn't feel like eating them. I knew my mom didn't like her at first, but my mom is doing her very best. What's eating me up the most is issues of our marriage. She discusses it with outsiders, especially a particular female friend. I've told her several times that I don't like it, but she says if it wasn't because of that lady, she wouldn't have married me, which is insulting, but I take them all in good faith. I made her start a business, of which I gave her an initial amount of 10,000 Ghana cedis, but she never wants to support the house in any way. We are not on a joint account, but I usually see messages the bank sends her. Just last week, a huge amount of money went off her balance. I don't expect much, but I wanted her to at least tell me what she used it for, or at least discuss with me. Sisters, am I not supposed to know? This is the woman who knows all my monetary details. The love I have for her is diminishing. Her not supporting me is disheartening, and I keep asking myself whether my wife will still stand with me in my low moments. Help, because I'm dying emotionally.
The married people.
The married people should start talking. All right. Who
Olivia
wants
can
to
do
go?
for like
Olivia.
And I'll summarize for 5 minutes.
Livy.
It's got a lot in there.
Yeah,
A lot.
whole
Like
lot. A lot.
each of the problems can be discussed
On
during
their
this
own.
entire show. I don't even know where to start from.
Let's start from
yeah, where?
maybe the mother and wife
mother-in-law.
relationship. Yeah, mother-in-law
Yes.
thing.
So clearly, the relationship between her mother-in-law, and her wasn't good because of what some of these pastors said, i.e., her mother is a witch. But really, sometimes listening to some of these pastors, for me, is the beginning of chaos in families. This is a woman who gave birth to a husband that you shot 24/7 to have had your kids. Why do you want to turn around and brand her a witch? I'm not saying that all mother-in-laws are perfect, but I'm saying that sometimes you need to use wisdom in your marriage. Yes, the pastor is saying something otherwise. Has she maltreated you? Has she been mean? Yes, clearly, you don't expect that because you're new and you're coming in. Most mother-in-laws, because they're protective of their sons.
Right.
You know, and they want the best for their sons. Maybe they don't know how to communicate or show it more in much like in loving ways or much better effective ways. But bottom line is they're protective of their sons because they love their sons and they think they're the best thing that happened to their son. And therefore they're looking for an exact replica of themselves for their sons. But in the case that they don't get it, then that's what encourages them to start being, you know, like they don't like you and stuff. But clearly, this guy came out to say that in the beginning it wasn't good, but now his mother is trying, bringing food stuff from the village, you know, she's trying to bridge the gap. So this is where I expect the girl to reason up and use wisdom and show her love in return. Because at the end of the day, you should think about your children that you're having and the fact that the children also need to grow up around their grandmother. So can we stop listening to pastors that constantly say that mothers are witches so that we can just be and you know, I'm just saying this out there, especially for people who are listening and people who are married and people who have issues with their in-laws and listening to all these pastors. They're putting a lot of poison into relationships, and that doesn't help. It's all about love. Yes, you might have a mother-in-law who is crazy, but how do you react? It's all about your reaction. It's all about showing love. And if she's showing love, why can't you show her love in return? So moving away from that, I really don't know how else you can speak to her because it looks like she's decided that your mom is not good, therefore that's it. But my thing is that I'm pouring out advice to people out there. There's more to life than just branding mothers, witches and wizards. The second thing too has to do the friend. Mm-hmm. Listen, the moment you say I do to your partner, right, it means that both of you have decided to go through whatever problems or troubles together. Speak to your husband. That is, if he's giving you the listening ear. This thing about getting third parties involved and she's your best friend. She's your best friend. Why didn't you marry her? But you've decided to marry your husband. Can you just concentrate on your husband? Your husband clearly is worried. He has so much in his mind, and you're not giving him an opportunity to talk and to be himself around you. So can we stop this whole thing about getting friends involved? For all you know, she's giving you bad advice. You don't know. You think that she's the best thing that happened to you. But please, can we grow up already and concentrate on your marriage and make your marriage what it's supposed to be? I'll quickly touch on this thing because I could go on and on and on. This thing about the finances. I know of a married couple. If there's no money at home, she's cooking all. The guy goes and he comes, she's also working. She's cooking. In the middle of cooking, she realizes she doesn't have salt. Her husband will come home to come and eat food without salt because she doesn't want to fork out a penny to buy salt. I kid you not.
Wow.
And yes,
Olivia, you know people, oh.
I know people. No, really. There's some women who think
ridiculous.
that is ridiculous. There's some women who
Salt.
think that yes, salt. So there was no salt because he was at work and he couldn't get the salt on time. So, like, how much is salt, for crying out loud? But exactly, she didn't want to fork out money because at the end of the day, it's the man's responsibility to put food on the table. Therefore, she has to. So at some point in time, this has to stop. It is okay. Like, I hear that a lot. Like, women are most women, I don't want to brand every woman, but most women nowadays are very, or she doesn't want her husband or her partner to know how much money he has, because at the end of the day, he's going to take the money and spend it on another woman. Plus, it's his responsibility to say, for crying out loud, for me, my husband and I, we have separate accounts, right? But it's a joint account. At every point in time, everybody knows he has my ATM, I have his ATM card. This is my relationship with him. I'm not saying that it will work for everybody.
Wait,
but
so you have separate joint accounts?
No. I have my account, he has his account.
Okay.
But they know.
But they have cards on each other's account.
Okay,
exactly. He's got my card, I've got his card.
Right.
If you're able to sleep on the same bed and shag the same man, why can't you share a bank account? And especially when you both know what your responsibilities are. I think, right, this is where I'm coming from. Usually during the dating and courtship time, or the moving into the marriage stage, whereby it's no longer, just dating, you don't, but when you guys get serious, this is what works for us. We live together, study together in the UK. So I'm working, he's also working. We decided, okay, we're helping this person pay her fees. This is how much money we're using to pay fees. This is how much money we're using to pay groceries. This is how much. So at every point in time, it helped. And everybody knew everybody's financial temperament.
Right.
So we're both on the same level because everybody is different. Somebody can be a spendthrift. Somebody is very meticulous when it comes to spending money. So you need to grow together to be able to appreciate everybody's strengths. And it also boils down into marriage and how you manage your finances. Because however you want to look at it, it's supposed to be a kitty, and everybody should have access to it. You should be able to manage it properly so that should something get out, you say, oh honey, I realized that 1,000 CDs is off. What did you use the money for? And when your husband is asking you, don't feel as though he doesn't have the right to ask you, because he does have the right to ask you, because what? It's for both of you, and both of you need to be spending your money in a much better way, in a good way. So can we grow up already?
Really? I know I said I'll let the married people talk, but let me just say two things and then pass it on to you. So the first thing that I would say about relationship between your in-laws, you and your in-laws, is something we call diplomacy. For me, I would say that it's a hard pill to swallow when you really know that your in-laws don't like you. And sometimes you don't even know how to manage your feelings. You don't know whether to laugh or smile when you're around them, because you know very well that the people, they don't like you. So I would say that diplomacy is the key. You don't have to glaringly show that you also have ill feelings towards them. If you need to attend a family function, attend by all means. Smile throughout. If you need to fake it till they believe it. And then come home, be by yourself, love your family, do whatever. If you're going to give things that your in-laws give you out to people, don't make it when my mother-in-law like don't be announcing it. By all means, treat it the way you want to treat it. They've given it to you. Be happy, receive it, thank, and leave it. But if you're going to give it to someone else or whatever, don't even let your husband know, because sometimes when he knows, or the other party know, because when they know, then it becomes like we are trying and you are not even, And if you need to call once in a while, call. Oh, I'm calling to find out how you're doing. Just extend the courtesy so that it doesn't look like you are some alien in some corner and you still, you be diplomatic. Now, the second thing is, when a man or both of you say to each other that my family doesn't like you, but it is me and you against the world. it actually, you have to live it in word and deed. You see, the guy has stood for you against family, against everything. He said that I'm choosing you even though my family doesn't like you. I had a similar situation with my parents. My family didn't like my father. So my dad and my mom got married without family support from my mom's side.
Oh, wow.
Nobody attended the wedding, nothing. But these two, who were two against the world. So everything, when it came to finances, whatever, like everything, the two of them were the ones taking care of it, and nobody else knew their business. And that is how you should treat it. The thing is, the guy is now feeling the pinch because he stood for you.
Yeah.
He's pushed away the people he calls his own, and he's picked you as his person, and now you choose your friend over him. And that's really not fair. So I think that this is how you should paint the picture to your wife. Let her know that you've stood for her, you've been there for her, and all you expect is that everything you guys do is between the two of you. Until it's so how will she feel that you also get up every day and tell things that is going on between the two of you to your
colleague at work,
or even to the same mother-in-law that she doesn't like? Do you understand? Every time you go to your mother-in-law, your mother, and say, won't say, my wife now is because you know, like, you need to paint that picture for her so that she knows that if the coin was tossed or turned, or if things were turned around, she would not appreciate what is going on. Maybe then she would consider, but don't force her.
Yeah.
Just paint the picture for her to know, so that going forward, you know your next step. All yours now.
I don't think the pastors called the mother a witch prior to their disagreements. It came after. So sometimes when you're with a man or you're with a woman and then the family doesn't like you, it's very heavy on you. Now, if you're lucky and the partner sticks with you, especially you know you love the person loves you back, and the partner sticks with you, there's a part of you that cannot forgive the hatred that was exhibited towards you at the point of marriage. That's the real situation on the ground. Now, when somebody offends somebody and the person comes to apologize, or the person now wants to make amends, the other party also has a responsibility to accept the apology and want to move on.
Right.
Now, the same way you took your sweet time
To hate.
you took your sweet time to hate and now decide to make amends with your daughter-in-law, your daughter-in-law also needs to process that. I'm just, because it's the man who sends the message, that's why I'm going towards that angle. Your wife needs to process that sweetness and bring herself to see the reality on the ground. And that's indeed my husband's mother. I need to accord her that respect. And I go alongside, because the one is not listening. I don't want to speak too much to the woman, because Tina spoke a lot to the woman. You don't need to love your mother-in-law inside out, but you need to respect her capacity as your husband's mother.
Right.
That is the capacity you need to respect. So you show respect to that capacity. So even if your mother-in-law is pissing you off, just by virtue of the fact that he's your husband's mother, you need to show a certain level of respect. And that's what people need to do. That's what the wife needs to do. Now, the husband shouldn't take it to heart when the wife is also being very genuine. Because you see, when your husband tells you that, I will stand by you against my family, the woman doesn't realize when you now started talking for your family against me.
Right.
Because in her head, she feels we are one team against those who didn't want us to be together. And that included the mother. So she needs to carefully let her know that my mother is my mother. She's a good woman. She's a good person. It's because of A, B, C, D, E. She feared this, she feared this, she feared that. But over time, I've gotten through to her and she's willing to work it out with you. So I would appreciate it if you can also try and also meet her halfway. Now, if that happens, because you see, change when it's done with understanding is genuine, is real, and is lasting. So if that happens, it's not by force. But I'm sure he's coming off like the mother has brought yams or has brought something. All of a sudden, the mother hasn't spoken to you in years. You have 3 children already. All of a sudden, she's bringing you foodstuffs. I mean, what do you want the woman to do?
Suspicious.
It's a business. What do you even forget the pastor? What do you want the woman to do?
Yeah.
You see, but the one to she's not smart.
Yeah.
If you want to dispose the things, you don't have to do it in the full glare of the man. The man shouldn't even know that you are doing stuff like that. But it's only natural that the woman wouldn't feel comfortable accepting anything from her mother-in-law, because she knows that, you see, when somebody hates you, you don't even at the point of death, when the person offers you water, you don't want to take it.
Yeah, that's true.
When you know somebody hates you, that's the reality on the ground. But if you know that your mother is genuine and wants to extend a genuine hand, this is where communication comes in. It's not by force. Let the woman see why she needs to calm down and see the mother as she is, and see the mother that, okay, she was only looking after my good. This is what she thought was best for me, but I know what's best for me, and we've crossed that bridge now. She's okay with you. That's one. Now, the issue about the mother being a witch, I don't want to go there, because I don't want people to be having prayer meetings against me. Because pastors, you see, it's an emotional, faith is not science. It's based on belief. And once somebody believes you that you are their pastor, you are their leader, whatever you say,
That's what they
believe, and that's what they do. And it's so annoying that instead of them using that emotional capacity that they have to build the people and make people morally upright and help people, they're rather using to break families, destroy families, and do all kinds of things. You see, this woman would have gone to the pastor and told the pastor the history about she and the woman. And the pastor would validate that by saying that
Yeah.
Do you understand? So I don't even want to go there, because for them, if I start talking right now, I'm sure people will stop listening to me because they think I'm antichrist. I'm telling you the gospel truth. You understand? So that is that one. Let's put that one aside. Now, about the issue of the friendship, you see, ideally, once you get married to somebody, the person is your best friend. It means that the two of you now become one team. The two of you against the world, or for the world, whichever way it goes. But realistically, you can't say that both parties never have anybody to talk to. Because as human as you are, once in a while, you need to distress. You need to let off some steam when something bugs you. Because you see, something like this mother-in-law case, if the man is not seeing through it, the man just doesn't understand why you don't want to accept gifts from the mother, who are you going to talk to?
Definitely.
You need to let off steam to somebody. But the catch word is one, you need to watch who and what you say. Say, and even if you have to let off steam to somebody, just enough, just enough to kind of like calm you down. Just enough for the person to listen. But that conversation should not be used as decisions should not be made based on that conversation to affect your marriage. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So if that person is a good friend, the person will just be a listening ear, calm you down. Sister, it will be okay. You'll be fine. If you ever need to talk to anybody, you can talk to me. You know, your husband is not that bad. Probably give you a few bad experiences of her own for you to feel like, oh, it's not the end of the world. They're just there in your corner. But they're not making it like they won't come to the house and disrespect your man because they know something, or they won't come to your house and tell your husband, you the last time and you told my friend this, and I don't, you know. Because if that didn't happen, the husband would not have known that the woman was talking to somebody. Let's be real. We all talk to somebody, but you have to filter what you say, and you have to know who you are telling, and you have to know why you are even speaking. If you are speaking because you just want to let off some steam to calm down small, then reason up, so when you go home, you don't get mad, or you don't become a psychological case. That's different. You see, then you can do a bit of talking, a bit of, but all in all, and the financial things, you see, money, I'm telling you, it can make or break a lot of things. You see, it's unfortunate. I don't think that it's today's women who don't want to spend money. I think it's yesterday's women, rather, who don't spend money on men. Because yesterday's women were taught to be pretty, know how to cook, and a rich man will marry them and make their life okay. That's yesterday's woman. It's today's women. We are the ones who are forcing, working, and making money for ourselves. Unfortunately, some of them are trapped between then and now, where even though they are making the money and looking after themselves, the doctrine of yesterday, where it's a man who takes care of the home, is still deep, because it's something you were born with.
Right.
It's something you saw your parents go through. Your parents had to depend on a man. If you get married, the parents have to go and live in a man's house. It's like this whole idea of we get married and the man carries the woman to their house. It's like everything is like, once you are pretty, you know how to cook, your hygiene, everything is on point, everything. The man takes complete control over you. Like now, everything you want has to be satisfied by the man.
Right.
So I think that ideology is from yesterday. It's today's women who are trying to break those barriers.
Right.
But unfortunately, there are some who are caught up between the two dispensations. So yes, they are making money, they are doing everything, but psychologically they still feel that a man has to take care of them and do everything for them. So I think that when it comes with time, and maybe the man is also to blame. Maybe at the point of dating, he made it seem like, I will take care of you. Even that statement he made, that don't worry, I'll take care of you. I think that the man gave her the impression that just be my wife, just have my children for me. I'll do everything for you.
Yeah.
I'll protect you. I'll do everything for you. So that's what she knows. So if now you wanted to start sharing her wallet with you, you have to go about it nicely.
Yeah.
So, and everything that we've all said, it all boils down to communication. And the communication I keep saying is not me telling you. It's about us discussing to find a solution to our problem. And it's about us respecting each other's emotions. So if something may not seem like a fact, but if it worries you, Tina, it should worry me. The fact that it's worrying you should worry me. The fact that it's worrying me should also worry you. So once we have that understanding, then we are communicating. There's not like you're at a standpoint.
Right.
You need to respect my mother. You need to share your wallet. You need to stop talking to that friend of yours. And you too, you're not going to be like, your mother doesn't like me, so I don't want to accept anything from her. Like, this girl is my friend from so long, and my money is my money. You see, you don't have to be, if you are those standpoints, there'll be noise.
Loggerheads,
Every day. So if you want the family to survive, I think that since you send the message in, calm down and be strategic about issues. Communicate properly with your wife.
Right.
And I think everything should be fine.
Quickly, just to quickly.
I need to go for a quick commercial break. It's Sister on City TV and 97.3 City FM. Don't forget, your comments are welcome on anything you might have heard on the show today. 054-998-6996. When we come back, more of your messages. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Sister on City TV and 97.3 City FM. Don't forget, your comments are welcome. Send an email to jessica@cityfmonline.com or via WhatsApp. And you know the WhatsApp number, 054-998-6996. Don't forget, you can also join our Sister growing community on Facebook. Just search for Sister Live, like the page, and interact with us when we post videos. Share your opinion when we ask questions with our beautiful pictures every day. Respond to it as well. Okay, great. So let's go right ahead here. There's a message from James in Ablekuma. Now he says, I'm dating a lady who's 7 years older than me. Due to the age difference, I haven't taken her seriously. And I don't plan on taking her seriously in the future. But I don't want to tell her I want to walk out because I feel like I've given her enough emotional pain. Please, what should I do to end the relationship?
Stop that
You're a
nonsense.
wicked man.
Stop that nonsense.
You're a wicked man. 7 years. You let this
Shut
woman
it.
on.
No.
Wait.
The age
Rewind.
gap is 7 years older.
So the question is, how long have they been going out for?
He didn't
say, but
So
I can
tell her now. No, really, because she's 7 years older than you are, right? Be empathetic of her. She needs to move on. It's going to be a bitter pill. And this is why I have a problem. This is why I have a problem. You knew from day one that 7 years, her age gap with you was a problem. Why did you have to lead her on?
Yeah.
You know, because she's probably thinking that, oh, everything is okay. Now you're just going to put this bombshell on her, and what's she going to do?
Emotional.
No, because it's annoying, because if she's older, everybody is different at a certain point in time in their lives and stuff. She's probably thinking her biological clock is ticking. You don't mind about her age. She's probably, imagining what she's going to wear on her wedding day and stuff, and you're leading her on, and she doesn't know. You're sitting here asking us what to tell her Be a man and tell her, snap out of your immaturity and tell her, and stop leading her on. Do you manage her emotions? For you know, it's going to take her forever to even get over the fact that you broke broke up with her. Let her find somebody who is older or somebody who loves her for her, whatever.
Okay, calm down, darling. All right, Tina.
Charlie, boys are bad. Boys are bad. Boys are bad. See, the thing is, there are a crop of young men coming up where they've decided that these middle-aged women are making money. They have money. They're looking for somebody to just,
warm their beds.
Either warm their beds or settle down with or whatever. So they're desperate to do anything that a fine young man would give them. And so, let me just look for someone like that to, settle some of my matters in this world. After I'm done, then I move on. I mean, it's very cruel to do that to anybody, like whether you're a male or a female. If you're not interested in somebody and or if you're interested in the person, but you know that you're not ready to go the long haul with the person, please don't waste your time. It's really not fair what you're doing. So all I'll say is that gather the courage, tell them or tell her, anyhow you tell her, because right now what you're doing is cruel. Mm-hmm. So even if you say it in a nice way, not a nice way, just spill it. Just say it that, listen, I haven't treated you fairly because I came to you thinking I could do A, B, C, or D, but I'm not seeing us moving the next 5 months or next whatever. So I want to call it quits. Let the cut be sharp and clean. Mm-hmm. Yeah? Let it hurt once, clean cut. Don't do it little by little by little. You just kill it. So sharp, clean, move away. Don't even contact her later to have some conversation. So how are you keeping up? Nobody has asked you for that.
Thank you.
Just walk away and let her heal. Let her hurt. Have some time, heal, and she will see clearly. Yeah. So yeah.
Rosie.
I don't know. Maybe I'm emotional for. But yeah, I agree with Tina. Really, I think that you can't force yourself to be with somebody when you don't really want to be with a person. We can say so many things to make you see why it's not a problem to be with her. But if deep down you don't want her, you don't want her. If it was an issue about maybe you are not sure or how is it going to pan out in the next 10, 20 years, we can speak to that. But you are definite about what you don't want. Don't waste the time. Yeah. You see, because it's better to date for 6 months and call it quits than to date for 1 year. Better to do 1 year than to do 2 years. 2 years than to do 10 years. So better call it quits now. Like Tina said, look, when you're breaking up, the breakup, it has to be clean, sharp, painful, pain. Seriously, so that the person actually sees you like you really don't want me. The person needs to get that message that you really don't want me. He really doesn't want me. Exactly. So they stop trying. They hurt, they heal, they move on. This thing about I'm no more with you, but how are you? I'm checking up on you. Stop it. Because already. What happens is she keeps going back and forth, and she feels that maybe even though you said you are breaking up, maybe she tries a little harder. Then she's hang on to you, she can't move on. So if you have a little bit of respect for her, break up with her now. Yeah. Clean, sharp, straight to the point. And next time, don't put any other woman through that kind of. Once you start dating a person, you don't want it, don't do it.
James, I mean, you heard my sisters. I have nothing more to say. Leave the woman, okay? All right, moving on. Francis from Ho says, good evening, my sisters. I'm dating a 30-year-old lady, planning to marry her. She has 2 children from her previous relationship, which I don't have a problem with. But my headache is that my friends gossip behind me, and they're constantly throwing shade about her 2 children. What should I do? Francis from Ho.
Okay. Sounds like you care about your friends and their comments more than, because you don't have a problem, but you care about the comments that your friends are making. You need to make a decision what you really, really want. to pay attention to people talking, or to pay attention to the woman that you want to marry and all that she comes with. If you are able to block the noise in the background, I don't think you have much of a problem. You have said that this is the woman you want to marry. You don't mind the 2 kids. But if you keep on listening to the noise in the background, you might drown. And that is where I would say, you know, sometimes you might think you're very strong and you entertain some things. By the time, you know, it's about 6 months, 1 year, all you can hear is the complaints by your friends and your family and the people around you. And then the good thing that you have in your hands, it doesn't mean much to you. So I would say that if you know this is what you want, block the noise in the background. And by blocking the noise in the background, don't pay attention to your friends. So if not paying attention means that not hanging out with them as much as you do, or whatever, it doesn't mean cutting off friendship entirely. But I feel that you need to tell them to their face that you don't appreciate such comments. You don't appreciate the way they say A, B, C, or D. This is you. You found love. You found this person. You don't have a problem with it. The way you stand up to your friends also would be the way they will respect your woman.
Sure.
So you need to make a clear statement to your friends. Mute the noise. They can talk when you are not around, but once you are there,
forget it.
They should shut up.
Shut up. Libby.
Yeah. For me, I'll go with it's a bit off, but I'll go with my Bible that says a man would leave his family and cleave unto his wife. If you have that principle behind, that word behind in your mind, you know that the moment you decide is Ajah Mansa that I want to be with, and I don't care what anybody says, but it's Ajah Mansa. Friends will come and go. Friends will always have opinions. It takes a lifetime to find somebody. It takes some people a lifetime to find somebody who loves them for them, who care about them. It takes a lifetime for you to actually find love for some people. You found it with this person, and really, life is not perfect. Everybody isn't perfect. And the fact that she has kids, and I'm glad that you don't care. Don't make the voices, like Tina said, of your friends sort of pollute where you are at with her. Because she's a good person. The thing is, based on what did you decide she is the one, irrespective of the fact that she had kids? Has she changed? Has she done anything else? I mean, is it a crime for her to have had kids? Because right now, assuming she didn't have kids, what would the response of your friends be? Or what would it have been? So you're looking past a lot of things besides the fact that she has kids. And you're like, love me, love my dog. So don't change because of what your friends think or because of what your friends think. Take a decision, be a man about it, and live with the decision. And be happy. Because like Tina said, stand up for her. For all you know, she's the one who, she makes you happy, for crying out loud. She doesn't trouble you. She doesn't give you stress. I mean, there's times, we sit here, there's times when we've had text messages of people who pretend to be in Accra, but they're in Takrady during Easter doing all sorts of things. But
I remember that one.
But this girl, she seems okay. You seem happy. Forget about your friends. What if I were you? I will invest in my relationship with her and make it work, make it admirable. Let your friends see it and say, hey, you know, like there's something special about your love for her. And let your love for her rather speak volumes. And be happy, really. Be happy.
What makes a good foundation for a marriage? They're not the big things. They're usually unseen. You can't probably even narrate it to somebody else. So you know what you've seen in the woman. You know what you feel. You know where you want to see yourself and how you've pictured it in your life. It's your duty to make your friends, even if they don't see that with you, they need to respect that decision you've made. If you have a friend who cannot respect your lifetime decision that you've made, that person doesn't really qualify to be your friend. Number two, when they are making it's okay. Everybody, I mean, I have friends, maybe they are dating somebody, you think that, oh, that guy is not the right guy. You probably comment and say, oh, Olivia, this guy, I don't think is too good for you, People have said it to me too, you understand? But at the end of the day, It's what I decide that matters. The moment I let them know categorically, look, you know what, this is my life. This is what I want. I need you to stand by me. As my friend, their duty is to stand by me and not bring it up.
Right.
So if you have a group of friends who keep bringing this thing up, it's two things. Either they don't respect you, or you are not making it clear to them that this is what I want. If you make it clear that this is what I want, look, my guy, Charlie, I beg, this is my woman. I dey value am. We cannot talk that thing about them again. I beg. They would go behind. Hey, Charlie, come here. Say we cannot talk about Ingelo, and that'll be the end of it. They'll stop this behind you. So you know what you want. You know what you saw in the woman. So stick to it. And like Tina said, block out the noise from outside. Block up all that and focus on what you want. Because for them, maybe they're even envying your relationship with the woman. You don't even know. They'll wait, then you dog her, and then you see that one of them is now with her, and then you are saying that Obia Miguel. So I think that, Charlie, some of these things, when it comes to relationships, is between two people. How they feel about each other. Once you know that that feeling is authentic, grow it, build on it, and make it lasting for both of you.
Question. What's the issue with this born one, born two? And it seems to be like more the women who are disadvantaged if they have kids, and much less the men. You don't actually hear people say, oh, the man, no, he has 2 kids. So
because the African society traditionally is polygamous. You see, monogamy is new to the African society. It came along with Christianity. So when Christianity came, now this whole issue about marriage according to the ordinance, marriage according to the church, one man, one wife, it started becoming fashion. But innately, the Africans are polygamous, period. Okay. And because they are polygamous, what happens is that traditionally, like most of my parents, my friends' parents and their grandparents, hardly will you see them having an issue with just one woman. Do you understand? My dad had issues more than one woman. Olivia's dad had issues more than one woman. Tina, yours, no.
1 to 1.
And I had so many friends whose parents had issues with more than one woman, and it was okay. But to hear that a woman had issues with more than one man, it was like,
unheard of.
She's not chaste. You know, or saying so I think that it is cultural and it's innate.
Double standards.
So it's double standards, and that's how it is. And most of the issues we have in our relationships, it's all double standards. The man will say you can't do this, he'll go and do the exact same thing and say that it's different. Why is it different? Because I'm the man doing it and you are the woman, you can't do it.
Yes,
and it's cultural. It's simply cultural. So it's now that maybe people are now trying to do the 1-to-1 thing, and even the 1-to-1 crime or worry back home. But at the funeral, you realize that nobody has to be into this one is the man's child.
Yeah.
You see the children and you realize that they look like your children. So because at that time the guy is dead, you can't slap him if you wanted to. So I think that it's just a cultural thing. And if it's a man, it's okay. If it's a woman, it's like then you've not been chaste.
That's ridiculous.
Another thing too is that, let's say in the past, you are pregnant, and somebody, the father of the baby doesn't accepts the child, then it means you understand, because now you can't walk alone. You're walking with a child. The man is just walking about. He's probably happily impregnating other people. And you now have, like, quote and unquote, a baggage. Okay. So now, whereas if 3 of us, I have given birth, I'm a born one. She is clean, simple. Clean as in no child.
Okay.
No child. So it means if somebody is coming to marry we are sisters and they are coming to marry us, I am at a disadvantage because I come along with baggage. But she walks alone. She is now a fresh,
even if she has been doing it, there's no evidence.
She's a fresh package that we are now going to unwrap. You understand? Meanwhile, she's probably doing
Charlie.
more styles than me. I just want to do her. So that's it's all
No,
a
but you see, but
mentality.
honestly,
It's not
unfair.
fair. It's not
But
fair.
you see, life is unfair.
That's
I know a
our
friend who would
system.
always, I mean, anytime something happens, he just goes like, look, Rosina, life is unfair. Period. Because on truth be told, sometimes when you have a man who has children, they actually encourage you to look for another woman because you can't look at the children alone. So go and find another woman. It's fashionable to marry a man who has children or maybe he's divorced with a wife. Then you go and land. I mean, you land in a matured man who probably already has children. You just add your one to it to solidify the marriage, and then
That's
you are
all.
gone. But in the others, I don't know. But I know instances where men have married women with issues, and the children didn't even know that they were outside issues until later in life. So it's possible to do that, and the children, feel loved.
It's almost as though society pardons the men when they go out doing stuff like that, and then turns around and says women
cannot do
It's
that.
culturally acceptable here. That's what it is.
See, but that's the thing. It's up to me and
Is that
you.
what?
It's about time to change,
Yeah,
man.
it's changing. That's what I'm saying.
It's changing.
It is changing.
To
That's why
communicate
men are
and-
bold now to even go for a bond 1, bond 2.
Exactly.
they're okay.
Exactly, and it's also up to me and you to advise our sons growing up that it's not. It doesn't mean that the fact that it's happening in society makes it right. It doesn't make it right. So it's up to us also to tell them to do
Reorient
things
the
the right
kids.
way.
Right, Sister on City TV and 97.3 City FM. We'll go for a commercial break. When we come back, more of your messages. Welcome back. Sister on City TV and 97.3